Hello and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show where I am Damian Farr and it's season 7. And I know what you're thinking, Damian's nothing's changed. Well, some things have changed. We're going to be talking about those right now before we talk about Shang-Chi. So, let's start talking about them. I don't have it written down here, but I feel like I should talk about it honestly. You're not going to see any of this, but the wiring actually. So, there's a lot of XLR cables for the microphones. There's the boom mic, there's this mic. There's a stand-up mic that normally goes like right around here that you're not going to see other than for the Spidey cam. So there's a lot of wiring and I'm redoing it all. I want to make it clean because this is actually plugged into another XLR cable and then another XLR cable, which doesn't make sense. Just have one XLR cable except this one. I like having this one separate because then I can pick it up and move it pretty much. So we're redoing all those, all the cables. We're just dropping down to one main cable to get it to where it needs to be, and then this cable, the actual mic cable is what I'm going to call it. So we're going to be redoing that, which is going to be exciting to do. We got a new chair. It's brown, but it looks black on camera, which is fine by me. I'd prefer it to be black, honestly. So we got a new chair, which is huge. Honestly, I can't really move too much. It's got arms, though, which is really nice. So I can just put my arms here, but then I look a lot smaller. And I still don't know how to adjust it, but, you know, that's not important. So, got that. We're going to go to the main cam here where we got a new end table. It's a little bit smaller than the other one. I like the wood color, honestly, so I guess it used to be my grandmother's. They were just going to throw it out, and I'm like, this is a cool end table. I like that it's got like a multi-layer design. So, we got the Creeper, Bricard the Pig, Conan, then 2 PlayStation Classic controllers there. We got a PlayStation Classic, which is custom painted. I'm going to go over there in just a second here to show you. Then we got Cuphead and Mugman. And then we got the subscriber thing. The only thing not there, and I took it down, honestly, and I'm not putting it back there, is the sweetness that is the piranha plant, because I felt like I needed a plant, but there's not really any room for a plant to go there, because the idea is behind those mugs, which I don't have it there right now, but behind those mugs, I'd like there to be the option for if I have a guest ever. So we're going to go over there, and we're going to show off the coaster, or not the coaster, we're going to show off the greatness that is the PlayStation Classic. So it's custom painted once again, so I'm not going to take too far out here, but I think it looks pretty sick. So it's supposed to be stars and the moon here. A really cartoony moon, by the way. So I just put it right there. There's also something on this here. So I was excited. I custom painted it. I want to put the Far Off Show logo on it, but we'll see what happens there. But that's kind of the quick thing we wanted to talk about. There is some like weird stains in this. I don't know why, but I think it adds character in a way. So I kind of want to keep it like this. I cleaned it though pretty well. So I think it looks pretty good. I am kind of sad that we lost the piranha plant, but it happens. I almost didn't have the creeper here either. I kind of was like, I don't really need him to be there. I already got Conan, which is creepy enough. So, you know, we got our 100 subscribers plaque from YouTube. So, let's go back over here where this XLR cable is all already messed up here because of me. So, we'll put that back into its spot. But, what are we talking about today? We're talking about Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, which I love this movie. I'll be honest, Farr, easily. So, before we start talking about it, let's do Bond cams back. So, I know what you were thinking, Damian, you didn't have the Bond cam? Well, I wanted to show off the set, and I normally put the Bond cam over there, so I felt it'd be dumb to have it going. So, let's start talking about this here movie. Let's start talking about the cast first and foremost. You got Simu Liu. I don't speak Chinese, and I'm terrible at pronunciations, as Shang-Chi or Sean, which I think he was great, honestly. We'll talk about it in a little bit here, but he's Jackie Chan-esque in the things he does in this movie. You got Awkwafina as Katie. You got... You know what? I'm just going to put the names up here. We're just going to put all the names up here for the cast, because I don't know. I don't know their names, and I'm not going to butcher them, honestly. So, honestly, this cast is really good. I don't know many of them other than Wong and Ben Kingsley and Awkwafina, but everybody else fills their roles really well. There are some other cameos, but I don't want to spoil them, so I think the cast was great. Most of them I had never heard of, especially Tony Lingu as, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Shang-Chi's dad, though. He was great. This is his first time working on an American film, and I think he did amazing. I said it to the people that I went with, not to be racist, but if this is his first American film, his English is phenomenal. Like, honestly, Jesus, he's good. So, let's start talking about it where he finds the 10 rings and conquers. He meets his wife and falls in love and stops conquering. He puts the 10 rings away, which is kind of cool. I think it shows there was some character development there, where he met the woman. He's like, I don't need to conquer anymore. I've got everything I need. He's got a wife and 2 kids. Stops conquering. Well, eventually that life comes back to him, and they kill his wife, which sucks. So what does he do? You already know what he does. He goes back to his old ways. He wants to conquer more. Starts conquering more. Starts teaching his son how to fight, because that's the way. I don't know if that's the way. I'm not really a ninja assassin or anything, but, it seems reasonable. Seems pretty reasonable, So, trains his son to fight. Shang-Chi goes to kill the guy who killed his mother. He does, and then he flees to San Francisco and lives there for the rest of his life. Which, the biggest question I had is, I get that he can get there. He's an assassin, so he's kind of trained to, I would say, blend in. He was more trained, though, fighting. But I assume they taught him ways to, like, blend in and everything. Which is fine, but where did he live? What did he do when he was going to school there? I'd kind of like to see that, honestly. So, Marvel, please. So, after that, he works as a valet with Katie, his best friend, played by Awkwafina, which I thought she was good as well. I like how, I'm going to say this, Marvel does this a lot, where they got a funny person, like a comic relief person, but they never take a serious moment, and Awkwafina did a nice blend of both serious and comedic moments, and I liked that. Because, as a comedian myself, I would love to play Wolverine, but I don't think Wolverine needs to make jokes all the time when something serious is happening. I think he needs to be an actual person. Something bad happens, I get that people have defense mechanisms and make jokes. But almost everybody in the MCU, something bad starts happening, they make a joke about it. That's ridiculous. That's not how it works. There's only a few people that do that, and not all of them can be superheroes. Let's be honest there. So, he works as a valet, and they're attacked on the way to their work one day by Razor Fist, which, what a name. What a name, honestly. I assume he's in the comics, but I've never read the comics, so Razor Fist attacks them. And he looks familiar. He looks like the guy who played Ivan Drago's son, honestly. But that's definitely not him, but, continuing on. So, after that here, they barely escape, but they take the pendant that his mother gave to him to lead him home. So obviously he's like, no, they got my pendant. So he has a postcard from his sister to tell where she is, which, spoiler alert, it wasn't really his sister. It was his dad to lead them together so he could capture them both. But he goes to China to help his sister. He has to fight her. Then dad comes because it was a setup. Then there's more fighting, some amazing fighting in bamboo and stuff. Once again, Jackie Chan-esque. I didn't say it during the bus fight, but they started ripping off his jacket, and he started fighting with the jacket just like Jackie Chan would, and I loved it. This guy, if they need a no offense to Jackie Chan, one of the best Chinese actors ever, but I think this guy is the modern-day replacement. Jackie Chan's kind of went back into Chinese filmmaking and behind-the-scenes stuff, which is fine. I understand. After years of doing this, I can imagine how much of a toll it is on the body. I would like him to be the new Jackie Chan in a way, or even bigger than Jackie Chan. So, continuing back on here, they're captured by the 10 rings. The dad thinks their mother is still alive. The kids object to him destroying the village to get her back. He imprisons them. They meet Trevor and Morse, which is like an elephant with wings, but it's like dog-sized, like this. It's really weird. And Ben Kingsley is back, which I thought was amazing. I like that they imprisoned him because he said he was the Mandarin and he had the 10 rings, pretty much. And I like that. I thought that was kind of cool. He had the 10 rings and was just an actor. Now the actual Mandarin with the 10 rings, which they don't call him the Mandarin. I put it up there that he was the Mandarin, but that was before the movie released. He doesn't like the term the Mandarin. He said, I've gone amongst many names, which was kind of cool to see. Well, they meet Trevor. They get lore. They go find the town. They get lore on the town, for lack of a better term, because pretty much they got to show lore. But I don't want to spoil too much here. I mean, the basic plot's kind of there, and you know what's going to happen. Big fight, and then there's a new 10 rings. The big fight was really cool, though, honestly. Like, there was a moment where I was like, this is good. This is real good. Is the big fight the best fight? I think the bamboo fight is the best. Then I think it's the bus fight. And then I think it's this big fight. Because there's a lot less martial arts in this one, honestly. It's more science fiction-y, mystical shit. But that's okay. So, I thought it was good. I think this is one of the best films of the year. I'm curious to see how the Eternals... I'm calling it The Eternals still, because that's what I'm going to call it forever. The Eternals and Spider-Man No Way Home end up. Spider-Man was my most anticipated one of this year. And then the other ones, I'll be honest, I wasn't really excited for, but this one definitely lived up. This one's probably one of the better MCU movies. So, what did you think of the new upgrades to the set? And what do you think about Shang-Chi, The Legend of the 10 Rings? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.